Hey, it's Scott White, Carolina Barrel and Blade, and Mia down there. Mia's looking for a laser. Just want to touch base with you guys again. It's Tuesday Tidbit. Touch base again like we do every Tuesday. We have talked about training stuff a lot, but we hadn't really talked about who we are here and what the business is. And I think that's probably going to be important if you're going to be watching these tidbits. First of all, I'm representing the Eagles today. I don't have on a Carolina Barrel Blade t-shirt. It's wrestling season. February is coming up. Everybody here that knows anything about us knows the weekends in February we're at a wrestling tournament. Jordy's still wrestling. All of our kids, all three of our boys wrestled. Emily wrestled. So that's just the kind of thing we want to touch base and tell you. I guess the easiest place to start with my background. I briefly served in the Army. I served briefly as a Ranger. I was initially assigned. I got orders for headquarters, 75th Ranger Regimental headquarters. Then I was moved over to 3rd Ranger Battalion. Served briefly as a Ranger, a radio operator. It was a 31 Charlie. Got out of the military, and several years later got involved in law enforcement. I think the military is probably if you look at it overall, is probably the minor influence. It did I think it did light the spark with me. I got into law enforcement. I spent about 18 years in law enforcement. About 15 of that heavily involved in training. I did active shooter schools, Alert, which is probably the Mac Daddy, that's the Harvard, out of Texas, GTI out of Idaho. I did the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy, immediate action teams, did one with the Department of Homeland Security. I've been through firearms instructor schools but at the academy, went through DEF-TEC, Defense Technologies, for pepper spray, flashbangs, instructor in pepper spray, instructor in flashbangs, chemical munitions, rubber buckshot, and bean bags. I went through ASP instructor school, which is the expandable baton, and that is really what set the stage, I guess, for the business. Then I moved. I became what in South Carolina, which is a specific skills instructor, which is the baseline or beginning instructor. Then I did basic instructor, and then eventually did master instructor. There are only 12 master instructors in the state, as far as I know right now. And I think that set us up pretty much to do what we do here. We kind of figured we could do things training better. You can get base, simple courses anywhere, like a CWP class. You can also get advanced courses anywhere. I think the gap, those intermediate classes, is really what we do best here. We can give you the basic classes, we can give you the advanced class, but we can also cover the intermediate all the way up. And that's whether it's in firearms, sprays, batons, anything related, any device related to self-defense, we can pretty much give you a certification for. Moving along, when I went through the Master Instructor School, Kelly Pansari and Eric Brown, probably the two most influential folks as far as my training skills that I have right now. Went through that. They introduced me to the folks in standards. We found out we could get what's called an ISP number, and I could still, even though I wasn't in law enforcement, I could still train and get continuing legal education credits and certify cops. That really helped me make my decision to transfer full-time into this business. Our idea was to create a 2-lane, small indoor firing range. That's exactly what we've done. It is completely digital. It is 21 feet to train close quarters skill. We built this place to train close quarters hand-to-hand and firearm skills. Also, I guess I would have to mention in 2005, we started this business in 2001 as a knife fighting business, leaning on some stuff that I think it was a Sergeant Jewell at Ranger Battalion was the first guy to introduce me to knife fighting. Then I met a couple of other guys, a guy named Carl Western, when I was in ASP class, and he and I had conversations talking about knife, and then Scott Serig from his martial arts background, and we decided to put together a knife fighting course to train security guys and cops, military guys, on how to use knives to defend themselves. So we started actually in 2001. By this time I'd been a cop for about 8 years, 7-8 years. We took off. Ended up training a lot of National Guard and Army guys and some Marines that were deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan in knife fighting. So we did that. Moved into the law enforcement firearms thing, started doing that, pepper spray, started training security guys. And then around 2005 or 2006, I met Ron Griffin. Ron, I was already a law enforcement firearms instructor. Ron was an IDPA guy, a competitive shooter, and Ron had a huge amount of influence, probably the most significant influence in my shooting skills. So with that, we've put it together. We view things pretty much, we have competitive firearm skills, we have military experience, we have law enforcement experience, and our instructors here, Lee Monroe, Todd, those guys are as good as they get. You won't find a better group of instructors here. So that's us, basically what we do. If you want to train in just about anything to do with self-defense using a weapon system, this is the place. And the way we do it, we're pretty much the only place you can get it. So that's us. That's our business. Come in and see us. Don't come in on a Saturday in February. I probably won't be here. We're going to be on a wrestling mat with Jordy, hopefully winning his second state championship, and with the Eastside Eagles, hopefully winning another state championship with those guys as a team. But come on in and see us. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, Carolina Barrel and Blade LLC. Follow us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us at hashtag Barrel and Blade on Twitter and Instagram. Stay safe, shoot fast. If you need us, give us a holler.